Too small. Saturday night. Remember, make sure you turn up, bro. Yeah. Always turn up. Make sure you turn up. Bring it. Make sure you bring it. Make sure you bring it.
Daniel Dubois just tried to fight Usyk at the airport. And it's honestly pathetic. Daniel Dubois just tried to jump Oleksandr Usyk at the airport. Let that sink in. You lose the fight, get schooled for rounds, and then show up at baggage claim like it's round 13? That's not redemption. That's a meltdown. Dubois doesn't need a rematch. He needs a reality check. Usyk's face said it all. Calm, focused, no fear, no backing down. When Dubois lunged, Usyk didn't flinch. He stared him down like a man ready to end it right there. No gloves required. You don't poke the lion after he's already mauled you. Joe Rogan
already one fight and tomorrow. And the rematch. And the street fight.
Rogan called it what it was. Embarrassing. You lose inside the ropes and now you're throwing cheap shots under airport CCTV like it's some kind of grudge match. Rogan didn't hold back, no game plan, no control, just pure delusion. Dubois embarrassed himself in the ring, and now he's doubling down in public. And Eddie Hearn, he looked genuinely disturbed. When your own promoter says, I don't...
Have you been just kind of fucking off here and there, and then you're like, I can fucking do it? Yeah. Because I can fucking do it is not...
You know it's bad. Watching Dubois lose his head and charge like an amateur wasn't boxing. It was desperation. Usyk is one of Eddie's most respected fighters, and Dubois made a clown of himself trying to start round 2 at Terminal 3. Gareth A. Davies tried to keep it civil, calling it disappointing. But the truth
abandon the fight. I'm just going, not for me, mate. I don't want to watch it. So
is, Dubois looked completely unhinged. You lose fair and square, no excuses, and then you try to ambush the man who beat you. What kind of circus act is that? And when your own sister calls you a disgrace, that's
Umar, and I think I've just been piecing it together today. I haven't been reporting.
That's rock bottom. Caroline Dubois didn't mince words. She said what the world's been thinking. Daniel didn't just lose to Usyk, he mentally folded. Now he's acting tough in terminals because he couldn't hold his ground in the ring. That kind of behavior doesn't just embarrass him. It embarrasses the family. Usyk didn't even need to speak. Caroline did it for him. And the silence from Usyk, that's the mark of a champion. Cool, composed, untouchable. Daniel's spiraling while Usyk keeps rising. Then came Derek Chisora, and he didn't sugarcoat it either. You want to be a killer? Hang with killers. Instead, Dubois is hanging around baggage belts trying to brawl like it's a video game. He's chasing
anything either.
Don't pretend the man is supremely talented, but time and season is everything in this.
Like a machine, fights like a master, doesn't waste a second on childish nonsense. This is the difference
supremely talented, but time and season is everything in this.
Between the greats and the wannabes. Dubois still thinks fighting is about throwing punches. He's missing the mindset, the grind, the heart. Usyk's levels above him physically, mentally, spiritually. Chisora's words weren't just tough love. They were a warning. If you're not serious about greatness, you'll keep losing. And eventually you'll lose your mind trying to stay relevant. Just like this. Russ Amber said it best. Usyk is only getting scarier. He may be 38, but he fights like he's 28. Every fight he's sharper, smarter, stronger. Meanwhile, Dubois is throwing tantrums instead of punches. That airport stunt wasn't about vengeance. It was about mentality. Dubois couldn't land clean in the ring, so he tried to land something, anything out of desperation. And that's the truth. Dubois isn't fighting Usyk anymore. He's fighting...
You got to put him up there, man. If that was phenomenal. People talking about age, you know, was he showing signs?
Shame, fighting doubt, fighting the mirror, and he's losing. Usyk ages like fine wine. While Dubois spirals out of control, Oleksandr Usyk is aging like fine wine. Outclassing Anthony Joshua, breaking down Tyson Fury, and humiliating Daniel Dubois not once, but twice. While Usyk's legacy grows with every fight, what's Dubois doing? Starting airport fights and becoming a meme for fans and fighters alike. Russ Amber sees it clearly. Age doesn't matter when your mindset is elite. That's the difference. Dubois thought he could overpower Usyk, but instead he was outboxed, outthought, and now completely out of control. You can't beat greatness with raw emotion. And you certainly don't shake a man like Usyk by shouting across a terminal. That's not confidence. It's collapse. Then came Martin Bakoli's verdict, and it was brutal. Usyk, he said, is the best right now. No debate. Undefeated.
Dominating. I thought he was doing the things that I think Dubois did what I expected him to do, and Usyk did what I expected him to do. You know, he controlled, moved, waited, but then he started landing hard.
Undisputed. Unstoppable. Meanwhile, Dubois is running around airports like it's Love Island. Heavyweight edition, trying to make headlines while Usyk quietly builds a historic career. Bakoli called him a machine. And he's right. Usyk's stamina, precision, and icy composure make him a monster in the ring. And Dubois, he still hasn't accepted that he couldn't beat Usyk in the ring. That airport stunt wasn't a rematch. It was an embarrassing cry for attention. You don't become great by throwing hands in public. You do it by earning respect. Usyk's doing that. Dubois is just throwing tantrums. Bakoli's praise wasn't hype. It was acknowledgement. A fighter recognizing greatness in another. And Dubois, he's nowhere near that level. Instead of throwing punches in terminals, he should be taking notes. When Don Charles Dubois' own trainer spoke out, you could hear the frustration. In fact, there were barely any words at all. And words
is the best for right now. For our this moment now is the best. Retire or keep fighting. He done away, he done amazing. This guy is a machine. So it's the best right now, to be honest. So. Is still under.
And that silence hit harder than anything Dubois has thrown recently. Because this wasn't just about losing a fight. This was about the circus that followed. Dubois didn't just get beaten in round 4. He unraveled. And the airport chaos that followed, it made it worse. Here's a sharp, concise, and polished rewrite of your 446-word segment. The tone remains bold and critical. With improved clarity and pacing, Usyk isn't just the man to beat. He's the man no one can beat. Oleksandr Usyk has proved it again. He's not just the man to beat. He's the man no one can beat. And Daniel Dubois, he's not on that level. Not in the ring. And clearly not at the airport. Dave Allen said what most people
start rebuilding.
I'm speechless. I usually got a lot to say. I'm speechless. The fight ended in round 4, and we got conned out of it.
We're thinking. And he didn't hold back. He flat out called it. Dubois quit. No injury excuse. No controversy. Just folded under pressure. That final shot didn't knock him out. It sent him straight into denial. He stood up like nothing happened. But the fight was already over. Because his heart wasn't in it. That's why fans are furious. That's why analysts show no mercy. And that's exactly why Dubois blew up at Usyk in the airport. Because deep down, he knows he bottled it. You don't try to fight a man in public unless you're haunted by what he did to you in private. Allen didn't just call him a quitter. He called himself the chairman of the quit committee. Pure savagery. Meanwhile, Usyk didn't even acknowledge Dubois' airport tantrum. Why would he? He already broke him mentally when it mattered. Dubois keeps trying to rewrite history. But the world saw the truth. Usyk didn't just beat him. He exposed him. And then came the legend himself, Lennox Lewis. When a Hall of Famer calls you unbelievable, you know you're at the top. Lennox praised Usyk's calm under pressure, pinpoint counter-punching, and flawless footwork. While Dubois relied on brute force and had no plan B, Usyk fought with brains and balance. He read everything.
Usyk was under pressure in the first round because Dubois comes out fast like he did against AJ, and if he catches you, you're in trouble. And I think just after that, he just decided basically, I'm not going to go on the back foot anymore. I'm going to take the fight to Dubois. And he just kind of beat him up. And obviously stops him. I mean, he's beaten AJ twice, Fury twice, Dubois twice. Unbelievable.
Adjusted and picked him apart round by round. That jab Lennox mentioned, surgical. Dubois couldn't find a way around it. And when he tried, he walked right into a storm. That's why Usyk doesn't need trash talk or cheap tactics. His boxing IQ speaks volumes. And now Dubois' airport meltdown makes perfect sense. It's not confidence. It's frustration. A man unraveling because he knows he got outclassed by greatness. Lennox saw it for what it was. A master at work. Usyk didn't just win a fight. He laid out the blueprint of elite heavyweight boxing. Dubois may have rage, but Usyk has rhythm. That's the difference between a hothead and a Hall of Famer. And if that wasn't enough, Duke McKenzie added insult to injury. Dubois didn't gas out in round 6. He looked spent in round 1. Usyk hadn't even warmed up yet, and Daniel was already unraveling. That's not pressure, that's panic. And Usyk, he just got sharper with every second. While Usyk stayed calm and composed, Dubois lashed out like a frustrated YouTuber, trying to go viral. Charles saw whatever.
And he walked straight past Usyk, straight to the corner. It was completely fine.
I think, and you know what, it's horrific to say I've quit. It's not horrific to say I'm quit. I'm chairman of the quit committee. I'm top quitter, I guess. Anyway.
Everyone else did. A mentally broken fighter scrambling for any shred of ego. Usyk didn't trick anyone. He dominated. And Dubois cracked under the pressure. If your own team is speechless, maybe it's time to stop swinging and start rebuilding. Eddie Hearn said it perfectly. Usyk doesn't run from pressure. He adapts and dominates. Dubois came out strong in round 1, sure, but once Usyk flipped the switch, it was over. He didn't just outbox Dubois, he beat him up. That's what champions do. He beat Joshua twice. He tamed Fury. He broke Dubois twice. The airport meltdown wasn't about revenge. It was the breakdown of a man who couldn't handle being outclassed by a genius. While Dubois panics, Usyk reads, adjusts and controls the moment. That's what makes him elite. Dubois may have fists. Usyk has a legacy. Dubois swings at Usyk in public, but the fight was over. Long ago Duke McKenzie nailed it. The jab supposed to be Dubois' strength completely vanished against Usyk. No timing, no rhythm, no snap, just fight.
Fifth. I thought we were in the 6th or 7th. Was it 5th round? Wow, okay, see, I didn't even know that. Yeah, I mean, I think he went out there with bad intentions, didn't he? I think he was on a mission to prove that.
Wild swings, panic, and confusion. That's what happens when you mentally crumble early. Then come the excuses, the drama, the desperate airport stunts to pretend you're still in the fight when everyone knows you're not. Usyk didn't just beat Dubois, he took the fight out of him. You can't fake composure in front of 20,000 fans, and you definitely can't fake it when legends like Lennox Lewis and Duke McKenzie are watching your every move. That airport outburst wasn't courage, it was the final crack in a fighter already broken. Daniel Dubois didn't just swing at Oleksandr Usyk in an airport lounge, he imploded. This wasn't a statement, this was a meltdown. A man who's lost control lashing out at the one who exposed him. You don't throw hands at a rival.
Hasn't even peaked yet.
Dubois, to me, in the first round, looked really tired. I don't know if it was the occasion that got to him. Obviously, Usyk got to him, but his punches had no snap on them. When Dubois fought Anthony Joshua, in the first round, he sat out his stall and he went to work straight away. Steady jab, stiff jab, big jab. He jabbed Joshua to death in the first 30 seconds. But in this fight against Usyk, the jab was pretty
between boarding gates unless something inside you has completely snapped. Usyk didn't provoke, didn't shout, didn't even flinch. He stood there like a man who'd already won the war, watching his opponent collapse in real time. Because Dubois wasn't fighting Usyk, he was fighting the shame of being outclassed twice, the weight of being called a quitter, the sting of losing the public's respect. This wasn't vengeance. It was a last desperate gasp for relevance. But here's the truth. You don't beat Usyk with rage. You beat him with greatness. And so far Daniel hasn't shown that level. Meanwhile, Usyk just keeps rising. Smarter, stronger, colder under pressure. If they ever meet again, the outcome won't change. It'll get worse. Because now, Usyk has seen the cracks not just in Dubois' technique but in his soul. So here's the real question. Is this the tragic unraveling of Daniel Dubois, or can he still redeem himself before it's too late? And is Usyk already cementing himself as the most composed, ruthless killer in the game? Let us know. Are you riding with the Iceman Usyk, or do you believe Dubois has anything left to give?